Welcome to my channel. The Volkswagen Beetle is back, and it's returning in 2026 with a whole new personality. This is not the Beetle you remember from old car shows, garage posters, or your grandmother's driveway. No, the 2026 Volkswagen Beetle is rewriting its legacy, keeping just enough of its charm while stepping boldly into the future. Today, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about this comeback, from design to performance, technology, and why Volkswagen even decided to bring it back in the first place. Let's start with a bit of history. The Beetle is one of the most iconic cars in the world. First rolling off production lines back in the 1930s, it became a global symbol of affordable, reliable, fun transportation. In the 1960s and 70s, it wasn't just a car, it was a lifestyle. Hippies painted them with flowers, families used them for road trips, and young drivers loved their quirky personalities. Fast forward to the late 90s, Volkswagen revived the Beetle with a modern twist. It had that rounded bubble look and even a built-in flower vase on the dashboard. People either loved it or thought it was too cute for its own good. But after years of declining sales, the Beetle was officially discontinued in 2019. So why bring it back now? Well, the world has changed a lot in just a few years. Electric vehicles are no longer futuristic, they're here. Companies are digging into their history books to bring back classics, but this time with cutting-edge tech. Think about what Ford did with the Mustang Mach-E. Volkswagen saw an opportunity. The Beetle name still has global recognition, still has nostalgia, and still connects emotionally with millions of people. But if it was going to come back, it had to be completely different. And that's exactly what they did for 2026. The new Beetle is designed from the ground up as an electric vehicle. No gas engines here. It's built on Volkswagen's MEB platform, which is the same flexible system powering the ID.4 and ID. Buzz electric van. That means the Beetle benefits from Volkswagen's years of EV development while still carrying its own unique identity. When you first look at it, you'll notice something interesting. It's clearly inspired by the old Beetle, but it doesn't feel retro or gimmicky. Instead of a bubbly, cartoon-like shape, the 2026 Beetle has been stretched out with a sleeker roofline, bold fenders, and a wider stance. The headlights still echo the round look from the past, but they're now ultra-modern LED units with animated lighting signatures. The back end also nods to history with a curved hatch, but it's sculpted and aerodynamic. Think of it like the Beetle grew up, hit the gym, and walked out with a futuristic makeover. Step inside, and you'll forget everything you thought you knew about Beetles. The 2026 version feels like stepping into a premium lounge. There's a minimalist dash with two large screens, one for the driver and one for infotainment. Volkswagen has gone heavy on sustainable materials, with recycled plastics, vegan leather, and even natural fiber panels. The seats are spacious, supportive, and designed for road trip comfort. Unlike the older Beetles that were cramped in the back, this new one actually has a usable rear seat thanks to the EV platform, which allows for a flat floor and smart space packaging. But what about performance? This is where things get really exciting. The base model is expected to have around 250 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, and a driving range of about 280 to 300 miles per charge. That's plenty for everyday driving. But Volkswagen knows fans want options, so there's also a dual-motor, all-wheel drive version rumored to push over 350 horsepower. That one will feel more like a sporty hatchback, capable of zipping from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. Not bad for a Beetle, right? Charging is fast, too. Thanks to an 800-volt architecture in the higher trims, you can juice up from 10% to 80% in just about 25 minutes with a DC fast charger. Volkswagen has also partnered with charging networks to make sure Beetle drivers have easy access to stations, both in cities and along highways. Of course, technology doesn't stop with the drivetrain. The Beetle is loaded with driver assistance features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and automated parking. There's even an augmented reality heads-up display that projects navigation and key info onto the windshield so you don't take your eyes off the road. For younger buyers, Volkswagen has built-in full smartphone integration, wireless updates, and even a customizable light bar across the dash that changes colors depending on notifications or driving modes. Now let's talk about personality. The Beetle was never just about being a car, it was about being fun. Volkswagen knows that, so they've given the 2026 Beetle little Easter eggs. For example, when you turn it on, the infotainment plays a cheerful animation inspired by the classic Beetle silhouette. The horn even has a retro mode that mimics the old Beetle's funny little beep. And get this, Volkswagen is offering color packages inspired by the 60s and 70s, like bright oranges, yellows, and even a modern take on the famous Herbie racing stripe. That's going to make a lot of fans smile. But the big question is, who is this Beetle for? Volkswagen isn't trying to make this just a nostalgia piece for older drivers. They're positioning it as an affordable, stylish EV for younger people who might be buying their first electric car. It's small enough to be city-friendly, but versatile enough to take on weekend trips. At the same time, it's tapping into nostalgia for people who grew up around Beetles and want to relive that magic in a modern way. Pricing hasn't been officially confirmed, but industry insiders expect the base model to start around $32,000 to $35,000, with higher trims climbing into the low $40,000s. That makes it competitive against cars like the Tesla Model 3, Hyundai Ioniq 5, and Kia EV6. The difference is the Beetle brings something those cars don't: history, charm, and a name that instantly sparks conversation. So, what does this mean for the automotive world? Well, if the Beetle's comeback is successful, it could set the stage for other retro icons to return. Imagine a fully electric Carman Ghia, or maybe even more playful models from Volkswagen's past. Automakers are realizing that nostalgia sells, but only if it's paired with real innovation. The 2026 Beetle is proof of that balance. To wrap it up, the 2026 Volkswagen Beetle is not the car you remember. It's smarter, faster, and greener. It's a reinvention that respects its heritage without being stuck in the past. Whether you loved the old Beetle or thought it was just a cute toy, you can't deny this new one has serious potential. It's stylish, affordable, and packed with technology, all while carrying one of the most recognizable names in automotive history. So what do you think? Is the new Beetle a bold reinvention, or is Volkswagen messing with a classic? Would you buy one over a Tesla or Hyundai? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about this revival. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates on the cars that are shaping our future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.